Welcome to Women's Business Voice, the podcast that brings you the untold stories of women's business and careers from around the world. Totally forgot that little piece was in there, but there we go. That's our Women's Business Voice intro. Here's a little shot from our studio where we've been recording last year's Women's Business Voice. We had so much fun capturing everyone's story over in the little place in North Cotswolds in Winchcombe. One thing that really stood out to me about your stories, ladies, a lot of you, and an overwhelming number of you, are exhausted, stretched thin, walked through storms, but still you're showing up because women are power in motion. So I put the screen there to honor you in a way because I've noticed how many people are speaking about in their stories about being burnt out or being exhausted or being just really tired, and yet you still submitted your story, and yet you're still showing up. So well done. I've added this for us as well. She's not weary, not weak. She's wounded, not finished. She's rising, not because it's easy, but because it matters. And that's credit to you, ladies, and your awesome stories that you shared. Nicola, this is your piece. You were one of our winners from last year. I don't know if you want to say these words or say a few words.
Sure. Winning the Top 10 Voices competition last year was more than just a proud moment. It went away, so now I don't. Okay, there it goes. It was a turning point. Being recognized for showing up authentically, challenging the status quo in HR, and using my voice boldly meant the world to me. And, what I meant by that was I had just explained to some of you that when I had first started my journey into business ownership, it was after getting fired from my corporate HR management position and while my mom was still in the ICU after a suicide attempt. And this really gave me a way to talk about that in a way that was authentic and also didn't violate my severance agreement. So thank you, Angela.
So that's just a little word from Nicola. Nicole. Sorry, my mistake.
No worries.
So well done for winning last year and for sharing your story. And if you want to see Nicole's story, it's over on Spotify or any podcast platform, over on our website, in our magazine. It's pretty much everywhere because that's what you get when you win Top 10 Voices. Okay, the voting section. Now, you all, or many of you, participated in the voting section. You can't win on votes, but voting is a fantastic way to boost your visibility, to get your audience engaged, and it's really powerful. But these are the voters' choice winners, okay? This is not the top 10 voice winners. This is the top 3 of the voters' winners. So, Hina, well done. You
oh my God.
The top number of votes. Well done.
Oh my God.
Meta?
I didn't even know we could vote.
Oh, that's amazing. That's unbelievable.
No. And third, Pilar, is that how you say your name? I'm sorry, I'm so terrible with names. Well done.
Yeah, Pilar.
Pilar, you got the third most votes. So well done, ladies. I know you worked really hard on the voting. So well done for that. And I will make sure you get a little mention for your hard work in the votes. Now, the prize is £10,000 in value, roughly. And what you get for your prize, you get to go on the podcast, which I showed you the intro to at the beginning. At the moment, we have 810 5-star reviews, and that's not bad considering we launched this time last year. And you can see all the stats over there. That's just Spotify. I haven't even looked at the stats on all of the other channels. So the podcast is doing really well and it's really popular. And this is where we just showcase your stories. It's about you. It's about your story. It's about getting your name out there on the global stage. So that's Women's Business Voice podcast. Then you get your feature in the Women's Business magazine. And Angelina, who's one of the judges, and Alexia, one of our editor-in-chief of the magazine, they'll be writing up your stories in the magazine and featuring it in there.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And that goes out in print and digital. So actually, I've got a copy here. We're going A4 this year. And I just love it. It's just beautiful. So we've got an A4, A5 version and a digital version available. And then finally, you get a feature on our website. So you'll get your article featured on our website, and then we share it across social media, and it stays there for life. So it'll be good for your SEO as well, because it will give you, lifetime feature. Now, your stories. Some of you submitted, the most incredible stories. I was in tears, in floods of tears at some of them, in fits of laughter at others. And some of you did more of a promotion for your business. Now, as Kelly previously said, people want to know the story behind the business. And so what we look for in your stories is that it is a story, that it's not an advert. It's a story. It's your story. It's a person's story, not the business story. So when we were judging, we looked for the story. Is there a story here? We looked for a hook, because we need catchy titles to get you visibility. When we are doing the marketing for the podcast and for the magazine piece, we want a lot of people to see your story. So there's got to be a hook. So if you look at the picture, earrings that empower, that was one of the hooks for one of our winners last year. Their story, and you'll have to read the magazine or listen to the podcast to find out how earrings empower, but that was the hook. That's how we got people curious and interested in the story. And then we look for the journey, from what to what. What's the journey? What journey are we taking the reader on or the listener on? And so that's what we're looking for in your stories. Now, some of you did a really good job of that. Some of you were a bit more promoting the business or sharing the business story, which is fine. Businesses have a story too. If you didn't win tonight, then I recommend you re-enter straight away, but using what you've learned tonight from Kelly and using these 3 points, re-enter straight away, because it doesn't cost you anything to enter. But really craft your story and use your story elsewhere. Once you've created your story, you've got a hook, you've got a journey, you can share it on your website or on your social media. I did a piece of my story in my newsletter on LinkedIn. And I thought, I'm just going to go for the drama. And I did, from homeless and single mom at 18, to global businesswoman or something like that. It was something along those lines, I brought the drama. My goodness, I got loads of comments. But not only comments, I got people also opening up about their story. They became a bit more vulnerable about some of the stuff they'd been through. And it was just beautiful to be able to not only share where I've come from, but also encourage others to also open up and share where they've come from, because it's so easy to look at each other and look at us and think, oh, it's easy for them. They've got it easy. But we don't know the story behind what it took for you to get from where you were to where you are today. Like Nicole said, where she's come from is incredible. And what she's doing today is incredible. And I look at Nicole, every time I see her show up on social media or posting about her business, I know her story. And I'm really proud of her, and I really love to see what she's sharing on social media. Even when she's promoting her business, blatantly promoting her HR business, I still feel I so much more connected because I know her story. Does that make sense? So your story is really, really important. I'll move on. This is just an example of one of last year's winners. Amazing, amazing story. You've got to check this out. This is the Earrings That Empower story. And it's what this lady, Cara, on the very left is doing in Kenya. It's an incredible story. It's just incredible. You've got to go listen to it or read it or watch it or whatever. This is the sound. It means we're going to be revealing the winners. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hina, is that how you say your name? How'd you
Yes.
say? Yes, and your last name, how'd you pronounce it?
Umar.
Hina Uma, this is the real thing. You are a winner. Not only the
Umar.
host winner, you are the winner of the top 10 voices, one of the top 10. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
One of our judges is just going to do a little talk about why they chose you. Sam and Angelina, which one of you have Hina?
I think Sam does.
Sam,
I do. It is me. Yeah.
over to you.
One moment. Well, I was expecting it in a different order. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm so sorry. But congratulations, Hina. It was really difficult, I must admit, to choose the winners because the stories were so powerful. I'm just trying to find yours now. Here we go. Got you. Right, I'm ever so sorry about this, but I did have you all in a different order. So I think really it was your whole story that stood out for me. The courage, the power, the fight, yourself and your husband creating such powerful business. And it, yeah, as I was reading your story, I could feel it. I could feel your story. That's the only way I can say it. And I even had to go back to yours just to reread it again because I was just like quite blown away. So well done, Hina. Very well deserved.
Thank you so
Without a
much.
shadow of a doubt.
Thank you so much. Really means a lot. Sorry if I can speak a word.
Of course.
Yeah, it really means a lot because I'm coming from back from Pakistan, which is a country which is underdeveloped country. Women are not given the opportunities to come forward to participate in businesses, to represent as especially the business women. There is no concept of working as a businesswoman. The local ladies are usually just helping up their husbands or family members. Sometimes they are allowed, not even sometimes they're not even allowed for completing education and everything like that. So when I started my company Beyond the Valley, which we used to provide premier active adventures and sustainable tourism and responsible travel practices to the global clientele, my main focus was to bring forward the women of the local areas and their practices on a global platform. Recently in 2024, we also got an award for best company providing the women run businesses because I hired local guides who were the women for all our women related trips. Many of the
Absolutely.
clients that we are getting from UK, USA, and other countries are solo female travelers. I wanted to bring forward the women as guides, as craft makers, as restaurant runners, and provide them the opportunities that they have equal chance and opportunities to work as men, and they should come forward in the same way just any other man would also be doing. I'm so glad that we provided them trainings, we provided them education, we empowered them with different skills that today if you go to Pakistan, I think you will see in the northern areas of Pakistan our company Beyond the Valley name and boards are being placed everywhere because I would not hesitate to say that we revolutionized the concept of women working and travel and tourism in underdeveloped country like Pakistan, which is unfortunately in the international media is not highlighted in a positive way because international media usually does not show you all the positive women, but Pakistan does have a lot of positive sides and a beautiful natural beauty that is being bestowed upon it, just to bring it forward on the global stage.
Oh, amazing. I can't wait to share your story. Thank you so much for answering. And we're really looking forward to sharing your story and digging into it a bit more.
And just to add one point, my team actually nominated me here. I wasn't even aware.
Oh, wow. Right. Clara.
What?
Well done. Oh, I'm making such a mess of the presentation today. I'm so sorry. Who's got Clara? Let's congratulate her.
It's me.
Go, Stan. I'm not going to fiddle with the screen and try to show everyone's face in that because I'm just making such a mess. Just talk over the screen share.
I'm
Right,
shocked.
okay.
I'm not sure what I'm being awarded for.
Top 10
for your
voices.
story.
Your story.
Oh my God, that's unusual. Okay. What do you want me to tell you?
Well, let Sam first tell you why she chose you.
Okay.
Okay, so I read your story, Clara, and I have seen you in Women's Business Club in the platforms and that. And I did feel drawn to you. But the one thing that stood out for me that was absolutely huge was something that you said. And you said our environments can be a catalyst for change, but can also be our prisons. And that meant quite a lot to me. I knew exactly where you were coming from with that. And as I read that, I thought there are so many women in the world today that can resonate with what you said.
Mm. Well
Yeah.
done, Clara. I can't wait to get stuck into your story. I'm going to leave speeches till the end, just in case we don't get through all the winners, if that's okay. So at the end, I'll let the winners have a little speech if there's time. But congratulations, Clara. Well done. I can't wait to share your story.
Amazing. Thank you, lovely.
Samantha, woohoo! Well done. Now, this story, this was my one to present, and I'm a huge fan. I mean, I think Samantha knows already. I'm a crazy fan because her story is incredible, but her product is incredible too. She is in South Africa, and I'm going to just read you a little bit of her submission from salt to strength. Already the hook was in her entry right there, building a global brand with purpose. And she goes on to say how, leaving an abusive marriage, she stood at a crossroads with a toddler on her hip. She sold her home, listen to this, ladies, to buy 34 tons of unrefined salt from the Kalahari Desert. That's the equivalent weight of 11 elephants. Now, this is a story we need to share, because why on earth would somebody go and buy 34 tons of salt? And why would somebody do all these things that Samantha's done? My goodness, it's the most incredible brand, and it really is delicious tasting salt. And so I can't wait to share your story with everyone, Samantha. Thank you so much for entering and for,
Angela.
yeah.
Much appreciated.
Christine, this is my one as well. So I'm presenting your win, Christine. Congratulations. I remember the very first time I met Christine. I think it was a Women's Business Club lunch, and she stood up and she shared about all of her travels and business exploits and all these things she was doing. And then she was like, and I'm 82 years old, or whatever your age was at the time, Christine. I was like, oh my goodness, when I grow up, I want to be like you. Like, Christine really helped me to not be so fearful of aging. I sometimes get quite fearful of what 80 looks like or what 70 looks like. And yet she models it so beautifully. Her life is just beginning in many ways. And she has an incredible story. I just want to read something from her submission. So Christine is 84 now, and we are highlighting her age because it's incredible and it's inspiring. But she has a mission. Now, Christine, I need to find your mission, something by the time you're 90. Oh, it's not in your submission. Do you want to quickly just tell us what your mission is?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My mission is that people understand that age is not linear. We continually learn, and I am going back, I don't know to how many childhoods, but keep the innocence of a child, keep the wonder of new discoveries, and don't restrict yourself. There should not be any shackles. Break free, girls, and just do it.
Wow.
So between 85 and 90, I'm on a mission now, really, to show the way and be, I don't know, you can do it. It's this restriction, this stereotype. I came from a retail background where you had a sell by date or best before date, and you were discarded. And the one company I worked with had a stuffed eagle in the boardroom, and the guys used to joke, well, that's what happens to birds when they reach 50.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We are going to dig into your story. We are going to interview you, and we're going to get your story out there. So a great big congratulations on winning one of the top 10 voices.
Angela, thank you for your belief, and thank you for your lovely members, because what a gang and clan and assortment of wonderful women you've gathered together. So my love to you and to every single one of you.
Oh, thank you. Next, we have Lena. Congratulations.
Congratulations. This story really stood out to me, from the emotional suppression that you had across continents, this journey from numbness to self-discovery and helping others process this deep trauma. I feel like she really deserved this recognition for turning global pain into something profoundly a human message and an emotional reconnection. I just think it was a great story.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Angelina, and thank you, and congratulations, Lena. We are
Congratulations.
going to dive into your story and share it with the world. Kylie, oh, what a story this lady has.
Congratulations. This story really stood out to me again as well. Like we said before, it was very, very hard to pick the top 10.
It really was.
It was very difficult. So the turned personal tragedy into fearless action really stood out to me. After her mother, the romance scam, that really stood out to me, especially this day and age. A lot of romance scams going on. And she founded two-faced investigations, going undercover to expose these digital predators. It's just very impactful. And her advocacy is reshaping how society understands online abuse. And I just think that's amazing. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Kylie. Well done. Priyanka, congratulations.
Congratulations. So this story again really stood out to me as they all did, but this one definitely did. The transformation into personal pain and single motherhood in a new country into a purpose through, say, Sanity Daily and the Therapeutic Journal. She has really created a healing space that now uplifts thousands of people, and her strength lies not in just surviving, but in using her voice to empower others. I just think it's great.
Well done. Congratulations. Italia, is that how you say your name? Is this Sam's or Angelina's?
It is mine, yes. This lady has gone from being a homeless teen mum to a self-made millionaire. And that really, sort of jumped out to me because I was just trying to imagine what this lady'd been through to get to where she is today. Was just, the deep wisdom and the resilience that she had to do that. And I think it was the resilience that stood out for me. We didn't have much information about her story, so I'm really interested in learning a little bit more about the details of her story. So huge congratulations, Italia.
Well done. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to digging into these stories. Gillian, congratulations.
Congratulations. This story rose from abuse, grief, mental health struggles to build an award-winning business that now supports other mothers, which is just as incredible. Her resilience really defines leadership, and it can prove that it could be forged through pain and persistence and purpose. So it's a really great story.
And Gillian's been, involved in Women's Business Club on and off all these years, and I never knew the story. And Gillian, thank you for sharing a story, because I was just like, wow, I never knew there was this massive story behind everything you do. So I can't wait to interview you and really dig deeper into that story. I don't know how to say your name. I feel so bad. Can someone tell me how to say this beautiful name?
Egle.
Egle. That's what I would have said. I should have trusted myself. Congratulations, Egle.
Okay, so this was one of mine as well. And this was a story, as I was reading it, again, it was another one that I could feel it. I mean, this lady is now a wealth business and purpose strategist, but she hasn't always been that. She's had to fight constantly from when she was, even before 14, where she was born, how she's brought herself through multiple different challenges to get to where she is today. And yeah, again, resilience, sort of jumped out, and the power that has to keep us moving forward and achieving our goals. So huge congratulations to you.
Well done. And please tell us how to say your last name.
Egle Aleknavichute. Thank you so
Wow.
much. Yes.
You're welcome.
Beautiful name. I will get it right when I interview you. Don't worry. I will practice. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a picture missing. Oh, there's lots of pictures missing. Let me refresh my screen. Maybe they haven't loaded. I do apologize. Let's try again. So what I've done is, let's get back to presenter view. Okay, here we go. The whole thing again. No, I'm joking. I won't go through the whole thing again. We have runner-ups. I'm going to go back a bit. So what I've done is I've chosen 5 runner-ups because I couldn't just have 10 top 10 voices. So we've got some runner-ups because I would still love to feature these incredible stories, and probably we will be even featuring some other stories. So this doesn't get the big prize, but we will be giving these 5 ladies a website feature. So Jessica, well done. You're one of our runner-ups. Ritu, another runner-up. Congratulations. Meta, is that how you say your name? Meta, well, I hope I'm saying it correctly. Parisa, amazing story. Thank you for sharing it. And Sylvie, I know Sylvie couldn't make it tonight, but if you're watching the video, Sylvie, a great big congratulations. So this is what we're going to be giving our runners up. Just, you've got my email address because I've emailed you a gazillion times. Just send me your story, write up your story, or get somebody to write it up for you, and your photos, and we will do a special website feature for you to feature your story. So a great big congratulations, everyone. Oh, that was, yeah, quite something, hey? Do any of our winners want to give a little speech, a little winner's speech, or just say hi? Just basically shout out, because Clara, there we go. I saw your hand.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I think all of us women, on some level, all resonate with, even in what's meant to be a very advanced country in the UK, it's still very backward for women. And as we know that women don't always get the funding for their businesses, all sorts of things, and we're very often juggling lots and lots of different things. So I really hope that, and I'm excited that all our stories collaboratively will shine a light on that and give the new generation, hope and better ways of doing things. Because I feel, my learning curve, and I related to your story, Angela, has been so steep in places and so alone, and dark nights of the soul and all that sort of stuff that you think, oh my God, I'm still here. And I think this, lays the ground, and I'm so grateful and wanted to thank you for nominating me and being a winner, because I've got a novel in my
I can
I've got
imagine.
a novel coming.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well done, Clara. Sam and Angelina, thank you so much for helping me with this. Thank you for judging and for announcing some of the winners. I'm very grateful. If you want to say a few words before we move on to some winner speeches, please go ahead, Sam or Angelina. Do you want to say anything?
I just wanted to say a huge thank you and the amazing stories that we got to be able to read.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'd second that as well. Yeah, it makes you feel quite humble when you read some of the stories. And also, not just that, a lot of women today not necessarily hide their stories, but
they do, yeah.
But like there was a few times I was like, you know what, I could have actually written something myself, and I think a lot of women could, and I think just by reading other women's stories, you can feel that you're not as alone as you maybe thought you once were, and I think that's really powerful.
It is. You're so right.
I would just like to say a thank you, a final thank you to everybody to this opportunity, first of all, because being a woman, working as a woman, and then being recognized for your work is something great. It gives you motivation. It gives you the direction that you're doing the right job. Keep doing that. So I think this is something very rare, and I would like to thank the women in businesses, Angela, and all the team, all the judges, and all the people even who are not here, my team, my clients, my everybody who have voted for me, each and everyone who has played their role in bringing me forward. And this is a great opportunity. I would like to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
You're welcome, and well done again.
Thank you so much.
Any other winner want to do a quick little speech? We've got 3 minutes left.
Quickly, thank you so much. Really, it makes like sharing the story is such a huge part. I mean, we can brag about what we do. I think I've been on many women's workshops that make me brag, so I've been able to upgrade in that. But I think, you know, we really do all resonate with the resilience and the courage that we all have for forging new pathways and how much you know, that takes. And for you to share our stories for all of us just really is a tremendous support. And thank you so much for that. Really, so appreciated.
You're welcome. One more?
I would love to also express my gratitude. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for organizing this. And as I heard also you talk about the story, I realized when you live in your own story, you don't even realize that
That's
it's
so
special
true.
in any way. So this is what I want to say for everyone as well, that telling the story already is so impactful and so important. And so I want to thank you for this opportunity and also to give a chance to remember that every story is indeed special.
It is. Oh, that's just beautiful. Thank you for closing with that, because that is just the perfect way to end our evening, or wherever you're coming in from. Your story, it really matters. And I'm so passionate about Top 10 Voices and the other competitions that we run, because it's a way for us at Women's Business Club to kind of give you a bit of a nudge, to give you a bit of a, you know, force you a little bit to get out of your comfort zone. And stand out and shine. Women very typically, definitely don't realize that our story is special. Don't realize that what you're doing, it matters. You know, whatever you're doing, it matters. And it's making a difference. I mean, Samantha, one of the things I love not only about your story and your business, but I love your Instagram videos because I can see what a beautiful culture you've created for your staff. And I love where you share those videos with how well you look after your staff and how happy they are, you know, and that's just another thing that's amazing, part that I want to draw out of your story. So ladies, every single one of you, it is not, it was just impossible to choose the top 10. And we had to, at the end of the day, we just had to pick some. But your stories are all good. They matter. And yes, some of you can get better at articulating it. Practice. Get help. If you're not good at writing or sharing a story, ask someone to help you. But let this be the beginning. Whether you won or not, let this be the beginning of you starting to share your story. And you can take different elements. You can take different elements of your story, and you can just take one part, maybe the beginning of your journey when it was really, really hard, and build a story around that. And then another installment of maybe a good season where things were going all right and what you learned in that season. And then something was challenging and tough and you had to learn a new lesson. And so you can build up this whole series of little mini stories that come from your main story. And once you start speaking like that and sharing like that on social media, in your newsletters, or wherever you publish your stories, people are going to buy into you. And then whatever you want to sell them, they are going to listen because they've bought into you and they are behind you because your story is so powerful. And then when you want to bring a business in it and sell something, you've got their attention. And so this is a brilliant way to start practicing using your story as part of your marketing, as part of your business development. So that's what I want to leave you with. For the winners and the runner-ups and everybody, I'm going to get in touch with you all with next steps tomorrow. Send you your certificates and your badges and everything. And then we will book dates to start recording the interviews. In the meantime, go back, go find Women's Business Voice on podcast. It's video, it's audio. Go find the magazine. It's on issue.com for Women's Business Club, and read last year's stories. Start to get an idea of what's coming for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being brave and entering your stories. And I will catch up with you all on email.
Thank you.